Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! I have always loved recording commentaries about Freya Skye for every Freya Skye fan who has ever watched at least one of my videos, and I would just like to take this time and this opportunity to say thank you to every Freya Skye fan who has been with me and forever and always remained a part of these conversations from the very first video that I ever uploaded about Freya Skye and had the opportunity to create. Because all I've ever wanted is to be a part of something special. And you know something, because of the Freya Skye fans out there who watch these videos every night, I had the chance to be a part of something special and create videos in ways that I never imagined possible for me. Because you guys allowed me to be a part of these conversations, to share with you my story about how I was a Freya Skye fan and how I felt ever more captivated about what Freya Skye had happening early on in her career. I remember when she was just 15 years old and all she ever wanted was the opportunity to entertain thousands of people so that they could fall in love with her. And I remember reading down through comments that Freya Skye posted for one of her videos that she posted. I think it was a guitar performance of the song Dream Come True from Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires. And I saw the comments section and there were over 1,300+ comments about Freya Skye and how people felt about her, saying she was amazing, she was truly unbelievable, she was nothing short of spectacular. And I concurred with that. And I wanted to support each and every one of you for being the fans of Freya Skye that you were. So I wanted to give back to the Freya Skye community. I had no idea how I was going to give back to the Freya Skye community who had forever and always been supportive of how I felt about Freya Skye. I had no idea it was going to come in the form of hundreds of videos that I would go on to create and upload about Freya Skye. But these videos have touched the hearts of thousands of people, and every single night there is somebody who is a Freya Skye fan out there watching this video who never seems to fail to hit the subscribe button because they feel very passionate about her music, her ability as an actress, how she captivates people, how she resonates with everybody, how she always connects with her fan base. It is truly unbelievable how she always goes out of her way to connect with thousands of people who love her with all of their heart. And that is something that a YouTube creator really has to take time to put into perspective, is how she resonates with everybody's heart out there through the power of her music and these very powerful lyrics that she's putting to the music. The thing is, Freya Skye is so young, and I think that more people need to take time in appreciating how she's so young. But she's writing such beautiful music. I have never seen an artist so young putting such beautiful lyrics to music and melodies, and that's what I really appreciate about her, is how she lets you know how she may be feeling in her music and how she tries to connect with each and every one of you about something that you may be going through or something that you may have to deal with. That's something I can never give her enough profound credit for, is how she resonates with thousands of people who feel a part of something special because of what Freya Skye offers. I think this industry has forever and always been evolving. It's constantly changing. So with how it's constantly changing, it is very difficult to make a name for yourself and to become established. But Freya Skye is well on her way to becoming the next pop star from Disney. She is up there in that same conversation that we had many years ago about Selena Gomez, Demi Lovato, Taylor Swift. And she is well on her way to becoming the next big pop star from Disney. And I'm really excited to be a part of it. Songs like Can't Fake It, Gold's Gone, Silent Treatment, which is her latest, has over 13 million streams on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play. Everybody can't seem to get enough of it. And I think this is the first of many songs that was recently released by Freya Skye, going to be a part of this huge EP, which is coming out on February 4th, 2026. And I know everybody is an absolute buzz about this new EP from Freya Skye. I think a lot of people were anticipating an album to drop from Freya Skye, but you got to start somewhere. And I think this EP is well on its way to achieving so much rarity for how it's going to resonate with so many wonderful people. It may never have been about how Freya Skye may have been feeling. It just may have been about how she wanted to connect with each and every one of you about something that you yourself may have been dealing with. I know more often than enough than I ever give myself credit for, one of Freya Skye's songs always reminds me of a situation that I may have been caught up within that I probably could have never made sense of, because they are real life stories that are told in these songs that Freya Skye is putting out, because she's trying to resonate with thousands of people. And her acoustic shows were really mind-blowing, because the thing was, the energy was at an all-time high in every room that she ever had the opportunity to perform in, and she was captivating everybody that was there. And then we go from that to the Stars Align World Tour, which is, of course, the sole purpose of is to promote her EP, of course, called Stardust, which is going to be available there. And the thing is, it's going to be really fun for everybody to pick up a copy of this, to download it off Spotify and Apple Music and Google Play, because I really do believe that she's going to be something special for many years to come. And years down the road, we're going to be having the same conversation about Freya Skye, how she's in more movie roles and more movie opportunities, more opportunities for her to create music, because she's got a dream of collaborating with this artist or that artist, which is a long way away from ever happening, but it will happen in due time, because it's all about establishing your name in the music industry, which is sometimes very difficult to do. More often than enough, it's more difficult to establish a name for yourself in the music industry than ever given credit for. And I've seen some of the best kind of really crack under pressure, but Freya Skye's been able to maintain this very positive image and this positive outlook on life. She's always taking the opportunity to record vlogs, letting you know what's happening for her in her career, what she's got going on, and she's really had a lot happening, everything from her acoustic shows to her Stars Line World Tour, the release of her EP coming up on February 4th. You know, music has really changed over the years. The way music videos are recorded and produced have considerably changed. The way music is perceived has considerably changed. Its message is very different from what it was 30 years ago. I remember standing in the line at music places like Music World, which is a store that many of you are probably too young to remember, and how you would have to get your hands on a copy of a CD. There were a limited number of CDs available, and you would have to stand in line for what could be hours just to get your hands on the latest Backstreet Boys album or the latest compilation from Britney Spears. And I think if that were the same case in 2026, people will be lining up by the thousands to get their hands on Freya Skye's new EP or new album. But this is going to be the first of many that Freya Skye is going to have come out and have the chance to produce and record. And I think more opportunities to collaborate with some of the biggest names in the industry are going to come upon her because of how people have felt special because of what Freya Skye has offered and how they felt as if they were a part of something special from the very first moment they ever laid eyes on her. I go back to YTV's The Next Step, which was produced many years ago, and for many years I was a huge fan of it. And I remember getting my first look at Freya Skye, and I said to myself, you know, she's going to be something so special. She's going to touch the hearts of thousands of people, and my prediction fell through with, because she would go on to achieve rarity in the Disney company. She would go on to achieve rarity with her music, and really was able to resonate with more people than ever before. And the cool thing is, when we talk about the Leg 2 of the Worlds Collide tour, with so much success being seen because of what Freya Skye offered and brought to that tour, Leg 2 will offer them the opportunity to receive more exposure and to do more PR overseas in parts of the United Kingdom, like Australia and Germany, which is something I'm really excited about, because we can never seem to give enough praise or enough opportunities for these new stars such as Kylie Cantrell and Freya Skye to, you know, achieve more exposure and more recognition, because I think more people have been able to relate to them and truly connect to them, feel connected to them because of the music they've been presenting. We not only got a chance to look at their characters, Noah Bright and Red from Descendants 5 and Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, but we had a chance to really get to know them for the people that they were, because there was a certain portion of that concert where they had a chance to reveal themselves to the audience as the everyday performers, Kylie Cantrell and Freya Skye. And at that moment, I felt ever so more appreciative of how they kind of broke character and they presented themselves for who they were. And I think at that moment, everybody felt as if they were a part of something special. I know in every crowd at the Worlds Collide Tour, there was a critic seen and heard, because their voices were heard and seen on YouTube every single time they ever push record, because that's all they've ever wanted to be a part of, is reviews associated with criticism. But all I've ever wanted to do is get back to the Descendants of Zombies universe, because when you see Jonathan Clarke coming, you know Jonathan Clarke is going to say something nice about your favorite stars. And I want you guys to know that I've forever and always been supportive of them. I've forever and always believed in them. And I've come out swinging for them every single time that the bell has ever gone off. Because the thing is, no superstar in the way of Kylie Cantrell or Freya Skye has any room in any conversation for any form of criticism, because I don't care what kind of criticism we talk about, there never really is a nice form of criticism to really bring up in any conversations that we have. And I think that if we're going to talk about your favorite stars, the least thing we can do is say something nice. So at the end of every conversation, when every conversation is through and the dust is settled and the smoke is cleared, you know, at least somebody out there feels the same way that you do. Because you're the people who created this niche. All of this happens and was created because of how you felt about your favorite character from Descendants, how you may have felt about a favorite character from Zombies. Because I know how the reaction was for Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires. It was a very different reaction. People really didn't want to give this one much of a chance, but if you actually sat back and really put it into perspective what the significance of Daywalkers and vampires were, it was to introduce us to new characters that were going to go on to be so significant to the Zombies franchise. Ever before that, we saw Werewolves by Zombies 2, by Zombies Zombies 3, we saw aliens come into the mix, and then by Zombies 4, eventually vampires happened. And now, there's a lot of predictions being made about mermaids finding their way into Zombies 5, and I would really go for mermaids because of how mermaids have always held a very special place in my heart. I've always believed that mermaids are some of the most beautiful characters that we could always find time in really appreciating. It may have something to do with how I've lived here on this island and one of the most haunted places in Canada. But I really do believe that when we have these conversations about mermaids and so much supernatural lore tied in to the Zombies franchise, it gives more people more of a reason to believe in something so spectacular and so truly unbelievable, because mermaids will forever and always hold a very special place in my heart. I go all the way back to the 1989 release of The Little Mermaid, and I remember how Jodie Benson lent her voice to the character Ariel, and how she brought that character to life for songs like Part of Your World and Under the Sea. It was a really beautiful representation of what a Disney princess was truly meant to have become, and what she evolved into for many years later after 1989's premiere. I will never forget that date in history, because that was the first time ever we laid eyes on the Princess Ariel and how much she would go on to be into Disney's original princess lineup. I really do believe that, having the chance to hear these versions of these new stories from Descendants of Zombies is an opportunity that I think more people really need to seize. And they're happening because of how much life people like Clarke and Freya Skye have given to their respective characters from whatever franchise that we may be a fan of. I refuse to let go of these stories, and I refuse to say goodbye, because I've always believed that there's still so much more of a story to really appreciate. There's still so much more of a story to become lost in, and I think that all of us, wherever we were on July 31st, 2015, became lost and became marveled in what Descendants of Zombies would go on to represent. It obviously touched more hearts than ever given credit for, because over 10 million people across all social media platforms have dearly fallen in love with these characters and its story, and of course they've fallen in love with how each character had a story to represent and tell in their own way. And I really wish more characters would have had a greater significance and a greater appreciation shown to them, because if given the opportunity to tell their story the way they've forever and always wanted to tell their story, I think more characters would have had the opportunity to really stand out and make names for themselves. I often refer to the story between Jay and what could have been between Milan's daughter in that movie. They didn't really run away with it or really do much with it. But when you think about, underappreciated characters, there were so many of them who could have had more of an opportunity to tell a story. So when you think about the opportunity to have a new chapter in either Descendants or Zombies, there is ever so much more of an opportunity to have a new chapter written or a new story told in the Descendants of Zombies franchises. And I'm really excited to be a part of that with each and every one of you, because we have a long way to go, because this story is far from over. And I got the chance to be a part of that and create something special, because all of you came together and truly created something special for every fan of Descendants of Zombies, because I don't care who you are. I don't have to know you to know whether or not you're a great person, because I know you're a great person through and through. You can just tell that about the Descendants of Zombies universe. The one thing that I very quickly found out about and realized and really resonated with me was how wonderful of a group of individuals the Descendants of Zombies universe were. It was the most incredibly supportive niche that I ever had the opportunity to fall into, and I've fallen into many niches over the years. Superhero niches, the Twilight niche, so many that I could give time to talk about. But if there was one niche that I could talk about time and time again and go back in time just to relive and experience all over again, it would have to be how incredibly supportive and how lovable, undeniable the Descendants of Zombies universe were, because they will never quit on you, nor will they ever go away. They've said, hey, Jonathan Clarke, we're here by your side for forever and always. How you feel about Descendants of Zombies, we hear you, and we're going to support you. And people have been subscribing here to this YouTube channel for a very long time, because they have seen something special in what I've had to offer and what I've had to say about these franchises that unquestionably have held a very special place in my heart. Because I know if not for any of you who have been always and forever subscribing here to this YouTube channel, showing an undeniable amount of love and support, that I would not be here tonight. Where I'd be in this world tonight, I have no idea. What I'd be doing, I too have no idea about that. But I do know that I got the chance to be a part of something that resonates with people, that touches people's hearts, and relates to people. Because I think if more YouTube creators took the time out of their lives to really resonate with people through the content they create and upload, I think they would have just as many subscribers as this YouTube channel has seen. Because no other YouTube creator has gone on to have as many subscribers as I've had, or subscriber counts such as this, because of how they felt about Descendants of Zombies. There might be a YouTube channel out there with a little over 1,000 subscribers because of how they felt about the story of Descendants of Zombies, because they've told it in a very unique way. But I have a very different take on Descendants of Zombies, an opinion that I've wanted to share with you for a very long time, because there are endless amounts of opportunities to create something special and really to be a part of something special with every fan of Descendants of Zombies, who believe in the merch, who believe in the Descendants of Zombies dolls, who want to learn more than anything else in the world how to draw their favorite Descendants of Zombies character. And I must say, some of the drawings you guys have been throwing up on social media of your favorite Descendants of Zombies characters truly breathtaking. Never be afraid to follow your passions and to let the world know how you truly feel about things like Descendants of Zombies, because we only have one life to live and really only ever one opportunity to make it count. And you should never be afraid to let the world know how you truly feel about Descendants of Zombies, because I was never truly afraid to let the world know how I truly felt about Descendants of Zombies. I was just afraid that I was never going to be accepted by the Descendants of Zombies niche. I can't lie or cover up that. You guys really allowed me to be a part of something special, to have come into your life and truly represented you as your voice of Descendants of Zombies, which is something I never thought possible. I never imagined that I would be the host of a YouTube channel that would ultimately go on to become everybody's favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel of all time, and I have each and every one of you to thank for that. I record up to 2 or 3 podcasts every day because I just want to resonate with people, and I want to feel as if I might have had just the slightest chance of touching somebody's heart out there who's so excited that they've got their ticket for the Freya Skye Stars Align Tour, that attended a Freya Skye acoustic show in the past, who may have been a part and had the chance to experience the Worlds Collide Tour. Because I remember watching the Worlds Collide Tour on YouTube. I've seen some of these acoustic performances that Freya Skye has given. And I give her, a huge shout out of love and support every single time that I ever review anything she's got happening for her, because she resonates with you and she's so relatable. That's the thing about her music, is that it's so relatable. I mean, how many of you have a favorite Freya Skye song that you can't stop listening to, or you've never taken off your Freya Skye Worlds Collide Tour hoodie? If you've never taken it off, man, you're the greatest people in the world, because the thing is, you're the best fandom I've ever had the chance to experience. I had the chance to experience Taylor Swift's fandom a number of years ago, and I never ever imagined that I would have the chance to experience something just as phenomenal or truly as incredible as what Freya Skye's fandom would turn out to become. Also, the fandoms of Kylie Cantrell, Dove Cameron, Sophia Carson, whom I can never seem to say enough nice things about, because there's never enough time for us to have enough conversations about people like Dove and Sophia and Ruby and Kylie. It's really a time in my life. It's been a time in my life that I know I will never ever forget, because I got to share my story with each and every one of you. Not only hear your story from your perspective, but I also got the chance to share with you my story, which I never ever thought would be accepted and really go this far or come this far when it comes to sharing your opinions and your thoughts about Descendants of Zombies. The reality of it is, I know there are a lot of people on YouTube that will try to convince you forever and a day that Descendants of Zombies is coming upon its dramatic conclusion. But even with their trying to convince you that Descendants of Zombies is coming upon what they refer to as a dramatic conclusion, which I've never wanted to refer to this as, the thing is, the Descendants of Zombies universe are very smart, and they know who and what they love, and they know how to represent how they feel about them through their creative videos on YouTube, through their ability to draw Descendants of Zombies characters, how passionate they are about collecting Descendants of Zombies merch. It truly is so fun knowing that you guys have had your hearts touched, and you have had such an effect made on your hearts because of how Descendants of Zombies characters have made you feel. And nobody has ever deserved to try to take that away from you in every video that you've ever watched about Descendants of Zombies on YouTube. I am so excited to be a part of the upcoming futures that have everything to do with your favorite Descendants of Zombies stars that we saw at the Worlds Collide Tour this past summer, with Descendants 5 and Zombies 5 on the way from Disney. And I think it's going to be some of the biggest productions that we've ever had the honor to be a part of. And I would love to continue to be a part of these conversations for many more years to come, because while people are suggesting we're coming upon these dramatic conclusions, I've never wanted to let go, nor have I ever wanted to say goodbye. And if you guys would do me the honor of allowing me to be a part of these conversations for just a little while longer, I think we can really create something special and be a part of something special for everybody while allowing them to be a part of our conversation. If you are somebody who has never subscribed here to a Jonathan Clarke video on this YouTube channel was created for you, which means it's pretty much an open book. It's about what you want created and what you want talked about. And I love talking about what you guys want to hear me talk about. And I've just felt so honored to be in your presence, to be a part of these conversations each and every single night that I've ever had the opportunity to share with you my thoughts and my story about being a Descendants fan, which I truly am, from my heart to yours. Thank you so much for allowing me to represent you as your voice of Descendants and Zombies and to have come into your life and been able to share my story with each and every one of you, which has been a chance that I've really made the most of, that I've really ran away with, and I've never ever wanted to say goodbye to or let go of. Thank you so much for having made this your favorite Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel of all time, and thank you so much for really believing in me when you really never had to, because I just wanted to give something back to the Descendants and Zombies universe. We still have so much more of a story to be excited about with the upcoming release of Descendants 5 Book of Wonderland coming out between July and August of 2026 this coming summer, and I'm just so excited to be a part of that and sharing that with each and every one of you. Thank you so much for having made this your favorite Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel of all time. Don't forget to hit the subscribe, the like buttons, and to ring my bell for every video that I will go on to upload here on this YouTube channel, because there is something here in the YouTube channel archives for everybody. Thank you so much for making this your favorite Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel of all time. It has been my honor, and we will pick up this conversation and resume it from where we left it off bright and early tomorrow morning between 8:35 and 9:05 a.m., which is a conversation that I hope you will join me for. Thank you so much for having made this your favorite Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel of all time. I, of course, am your host, Jonathan Clarke, and of course, thank you so much for having watched this video and believing in Descendants and Zombies with all of your heart.